guys, Asher Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Glad to have you all here with me today. Send some positive vibes and love your way, especially if you need it out there. Today we got Wurlim Frostking, the OG Battle Pass champion. Anybody remember the Battle Pass? If you don't, it was this cool thing they did once in the game. It was kind of like the Forge Pass, but only better. And you got your hands on a bunch of champions, right? You had not Demon Spawn, but Undead Horde, Frozen Banshee, the introduction of poison sensitivity with Battle Pass. You got a couple mediocre bears, Skinwalkers, Ursine, and Ice Crusher, and Ursine Ironhide as well. And then the final reward back in, I think, 2020, maybe 5 years ago, was Wurlim Frostking. Wurlim Frostking, and he stunk. He wasn't that good back in the day. Is he good now? Because they've given him two buffs, one in 2021 and one here in 2025, last week at the time of this recording. So what did they change about this dude, and what does he do? He's a Void Legendary from the Knights Revenant faction. He's defense-based. He looks awesome. He definitely looks like, well, a Frost King, right? Again, Legendary defense-based. His base stats kind of suck. 1233 defense, we'd like higher. HP, we'd like higher. Speed, 100, we'd like more. Let's start with the aura. They changed his aura. It was Doom Tower only. Now it's ally defense in all battles by 33%. Yeah, a lot better. Winds of Winter's A1 ability is now placing a freeze at a 50% clip. It can't be resisted. They added that, and they made it so the perfect veil is just going to be unconditional on the ally with the lowest HP for 2 turns. This is a very useful A1 ability. The 50% freeze is very nice. And again, the perfect veil on the ally lowest HP is extremely nice. That's going to give 15% mitigation. It's going to make them unsingle targetable as well. Very, very good ability here in the Winds of Winter. Frostbite Blast. His A2 ability is a 3-turn cooldown when booked. Attacks all enemies, 100% chance when booked of placing a decreased attack and decreased accuracy. These debuffs cannot be resisted. I love the cannot be resisted on all of his skills. So no accuracy required now when building Wurlim Frostking. That really alleviates, you know, the necessity to build an additional stat on players who are going to most take advantage of this champion, because it's still not going to be an elite endgame champion. But with Faction Wars 2.0 coming up, let me tell you, you could do a lot worse. He gives one thing, and that's, well, he gives two things now. Control and survivability. That's what he lends to your team. They changed the decreased attack from decreased crit damage. Much better. Now it's a lot of damage mitigation. This guy is a sneaky damage mitigator because he's got decreased attack, he's got decreased accuracy, he's got increased crit damage on all allies, which is nice. He's got that perfect veil. Then his A3, Icegrave Armor, is a big version of Strengthen, big version of increased defense on a 3-turn cooldown for a 2-turn duration. Now, a lot of champions rather, have this ability nowadays in Raid Shadow Legends. But what makes him unique is they added a 60% chance of placing a freeze debuff on all enemies for 1 turn that cannot be resisted. I really like that. They could have taken it one step further, in my opinion, and make it this debuff cannot be resisted or blocked. Kind of like a Lady Noelle A3 freeze, right? But they didn't do that. He is a Void Affinity champion, so I would have loved to see them really push this guy to the limit and make him even more compelling. But all in all, it was a great buff. The aura, the A1, the A2, and the A3, they touched up, they spruced up everything in this dude's kit. So I'm going to share my top 2 builds for this champion for you guys, and I'm just going to say out the gate that, again, I love the buff, fantastic, but I still don't think he's an elite Void Legendary. Frankly, I don't think he's going to be the Void Legendary that you're going to be super, super excited about coming out of that Void Shard. That being said, I do think he's a very useful champion now, and that's more than you could probably say about him in his previous iteration before his last buff, certainly before the first buff on this champion. Again, I love that you don't need accuracy. It's really nice considering all of his abilities would otherwise require accuracy, right? So really cool. There's 2 builds that I like on Wurlim Frostking, and it's going to depend on where you are in your account and where you're using this guy, right? So for progression, I'll show you my other favorite build. But let's just say that you're keeping your team alive, you're keeping Wurlim alive, and now it's time to change from a tanky build to try to get some damage out of this guy, right? Try to min-max your teams, trying to kill enemies faster. Use him as a little bit of a nuker, right? He has a 4 multiplier on his AoE. Now, granted, his base defense isn't super high, but he can kind of smack. He has a very, very hard-hitting A1 ability, which you guys will see as well. So he can be a little DPS support for your team with the strong AoE and the strong A1 ability. So you can build this guy for damage, because sometimes the best defense is a really strong offense, right? So I put him in lethal in speed just to do a quick DPS check on this guy. I have him with 100% crit rate, 265 crit damage, as much defense as I could muster. We don't want to totally neglect HP as well, and we don't need accuracy. Beautiful. So I have HP with a trip roll defense on the ring, probably defense you're going to want to go for, but hey, if you can get good substats, again, we don't want to totally neglect or ignore HP on any of our champions. We have crit damage on the amulet. I purposely went and I looked for the worst gear I could find that's actually like good gear for him for this build on my account. Basically non-ascended gear, without mythical gear, without 9-piece sets, right? So anyway, we have speed on the boots, we have defense percentage on the chest, and we have crit damage on the gauntlets. Going crit rate on the gauntlets is totally fine too for a little bit of damage, right? Maybe you can't pull off an all-out nuke build and lethal and crit damage, but you can kind of work your way there one little step at a time. Put one foot in front of the other. So that's the build, guys. Nice and easy. I'm going to show you the other build now, but I will say that an underrated blessing out there in the game is Nature's Wrath. Anytime that you have a champion that you want to deal some damage with, especially over the course of longer fights, who has, in my rule of thumb, is 3 debuffs in their kit, and he has freeze on his A1, freeze on his A3, and he's got the decrease attack and the decrease accuracy on his A2, right? Nature's Wrath is a really nice blessing out there. Increase the damage inflicted by this champion by 3%. It's 5% all the way maxed out, 2% at 3 stars. For each debuff they play successfully, up to 15%. You can get 15% extra damage. It goes all the way up to 30% extra damage at 6 stars. It's by far and away the best blessing, for example, in like for Trunda and Hydra Clan Boss. 30% extra damage is way better than a 6-star Crushing Rend or a 6-star Cruelty or anything like that. So people sleep sometimes on Nature's Wrath. Now, granted, a 1-star, just like a lot of blessings, is not going to be nearly as powerful as a 3 or a 5 or a 6. But if I didn't go with Nature's Wrath, you could definitely go with Brimstone for PvE content, especially the red boss or the new bosses in Faction Wars. You can get a lot of utility out of that Smite debuff to have him be your Smite champion. Heck, in this build, we could probably get by with some Soul Reap as well. He has a lot of buffs, so you could go with Lightning Cage as well. If I had a 1-star Wurlim Frostking, I might just go with Lightning Cage, because 1-star Lightning Cage is one of the best blessings in the game, because at 1 star, you get a 50% chance to protect buffs from being stolen, removed, or transferred, just at 1 star. Okay, so let's talk Masteries. I have not changed this dude's Masteries in a while. Let's go ahead and redo them here, because we don't need accuracy anymore, right? So in this build, what is his crit rate at right now? He's at, okay, so I need the crit rate. I'm going to go ahead and go crit rate, crit damage. We're going to go single out. We're going to go bring it down, methodical, and War Master on this guy. And now it's weird, because sure, we could use the support tree. We could definitely use Arcane Celerity. We could use Rapid Response. We could come down with Cycle of Magic. We could take advantage of Master Hexer as well. Certainly, if you're not going to book out your Wurlim Frostking, I would absolutely come down the support tree and pick up Sniper and Master Hexer. But he has such a good A1. That perfect veil, that freeze. Hell, I want to go defense now on this dude, because I don't need the accuracy anymore at all on him. So I'm going to go with Tough Skin. I'm going to go with Blast Proof. I'm going to go with Resurgent to cleanse off some debuffs. We're going to go with Delay Death. We're going to go Shadow Heal. We're going to go with Retribution and Deterrence, both the counterattack moves. I'm also going to go with Solidarity, get a little bit of extra resistance because he's dishing out those buffs. And let's go with Rejuvenation, increase the amount of healing that he gets as well. So this is going to be my new Masteries. Feel free to interchange the defense with extra offensive Masteries if you so choose, like Life Drinker is good on him, especially in this build where he's doing damage as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other build before we take him into action here. So it's the Guardian build, right? Oh man, do I really have to pay? You know what? We'll talk about it now, and we'll switch it over later, because I'm not going to pay twice to swap it on and then off again. Guardian set is really good on Wurlim Frostking, man. You want to build him nice and tanky. You can see the stat differential here. I built him a little bit faster, but most importantly, an extra 700 defense, an extra 10,000, 11,000 on the HP, right? So we're building him tankier here. HP percentage, we're not even fully leveled up there. We can definitely get those stats up even higher. But you put him in Guardian, and then he's going to be the ultimate tank for your team. Now, if we wanted to double down on the tank build, we'd also make Defiant if we had the gear. Defiant's going to mitigate 15% less damage from AoE attacks, right? You parlay that with Blast-Proof Mastery, that's 20% extra, less damage, from AoE attacks. Really, really strong. And that's a two-piece set. We also get defense. If you don't have Defiant, no worries. Go with Guardian plus Immortal gear. Of course, Guardian gear we get from farming the Griffin in Doom Tower, right? Masteries-wise, real quick, I would make some changes if I was going to go all-out tank build. Instead of going down the offensive tree and ending at War Master, I would go down the defensive tree, and I would end with Bulwark to mitigate another 5% damage from the enemy team. And I'd go with Selfless Defender. Again, I'm really doubling, no tripling down on how much damage mitigation this one champion will provide. Keep in mind, this fits beautifully with his kit because he's got decreased attack and strengthen and increased defense. You put Guardian and all those masteries on top of that, heck, your champions alongside Wurlim are going to be barely taking any damage. And heck, even if they are taking damage, they might just be frozen. They might not even be able to attack the enemy team now. So he's really got a cool kit now. Okay, I was actually using him on my account on S16, Soul Cross. So I was using him on this squad. I'm going to try him out in the damage build. I've got him with Skull Crown and a stun set. I've got him with Vizix and Perception gear. I've got him with Mithrala in Perception gear. And I have Lydia in a 9-piece protection. So we're just going to run him on auto and see what this dude looks like. I'll try him out in the arena too, just because we have him in a nuke build. I want to test out and show you guys how hard that A1 can hit. That's his AoE, by the way. Look at that damage, man. I mean, it wasn't bad. 107,000 damage. These are level 250 mobs here. His gear isn't necessarily godlike, right? He goes in with that armor, the Icegrave armor. You can see all of those buffs. You know what? I don't know if I would waste, quote unquote, a protection set on this dude, but you could definitely get by with a protection set on Wurlim Frostking. It doesn't have to be 9-piece, but having those buffs, and he brings 4 of them. Perfect Veil, increased crit damage, strengthen and increased defense. Having them protected can be really valuable as well. Man, he kind of did a lot of damage there, huh? Like, look at Wurlim. 428,000 damage. Not too bad for a little DPS there, right? He can smack. He's kind of a sneaky defensive-based damage dealer to a certain extent. All right, guys, here we are in the arena. Who do we want to go against here? Look at this. Look at this Necmo Siegfried team. Not today. Oh, yes, today. Oh, yes, today. Our first victim is 3 Necmo Thars. Gotta be careful with this dude, though, right? Gonna go in there and freeze everybody with Lady Noelle. Let's see what he can do, man. Let's see what he can do. Can he kill? That was the best case scenario there. Let's go ahead and trigger that unkillable on Siegfried, and let's go in there and try to reduce the duration. We've got to resist there, unfortunately. So we actually don't want to kill that Necmo. We want to just keep hammering away at this fella. Let's go ahead and get in there, get a little healage. Let's just chip away with the A1. Sure, let's land that weaken. Let's go in there and try to get a freeze down. We froze, but the wrong one. We really want to freeze. It's a 60% chance, right? We really want to freeze Siegfried, and certainly not Necmo there, but because he can delete our team in one shot. So we want to keep working on him. The good news is we got freeze on every damn ability on every damn champion on this squad, right? So I think we're going to be okay. But interesting little squad here. I want to make a quick change to it as well. Let's first kill this Siegfried. Necmo Thard is landing all of his baloney on us, right? I want to make a change because I can't do an all-out freeze team like this without going in there and playing my man Tormund with a burner too, right? So, okay, we got rid of that annoying team. Let's go against this Thor team. One more squad, and then I'll switch it up really quickly here. You know what? I was going to show you guys the Guardian build. I will make the switch, and I'll show you the gear and whatnot, but I feel like, you know, you don't need to see him in action, right? With Guardian set. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. All right, let's go in with the Lady Noelle's A3. That's going to freeze and revive. We're going to turn meter boost. We're right back into the swing of things here. Arbiter goes in. We're going to go in. Let's see how many 60% chance freeze. Can't be resisted. How many are we going to land here? There's something just amazing and beautiful and just fun about buffing up my team to the nth degree and also freezing the enemy on the same move. Triple freeze. All right, let's pop off Armons. Nice, 134,000 damage. Damn you, Carl. Damn. All right, let's go ahead and heal him up. Let's go ahead and glaciate. Boom. All right. Hey, you want to get the kill shot, Wurlim? Get that kill shot, baby. Boom. Right there. Easy, right? Oh, come on. Come on, Lysandra. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right, let me switch the team up really quickly here. How about this squad right here? Sure. All right, Arbiter, you can, you got to go. You got to go. You, Carl, you can, no, Lady Noelle, you can stay. You can stay. How about Sulfurion? And then how about, we got a burner, right? And then how about Tormund? All right. You guys know the machine gun Tormund strategy, right? Hey, sorry, guys, I went into battle and I had no gear on Tormund. Here we go. We're going to burn. We're going to get that. We still won the battle, but it didn't do what we wanted it to do, right? No gear on the Torminator. All right, let's go in there and freeze, get that revive. Let's go in there and nuke with Wurlim's A2. Now, you know, you kind of want to open up with Wurlim's A3 because he's got the increased defense, ergo more damage out of his A2. So maybe not ideal in every way in terms of min-maxing his damage, but look at that. We got the freezes. We got the burns. That's going to instantly activate Tormund's A1 every time a champion gets a turn with those debuffs. It goes by fast. Let's see it again here. Chronum team. All right, we're not high in arena here. We're just having some fun. We're going to go in with a burn. Going to go in with some provokes. We got some freeze action over there. And now Tormund's just going to instantly go in with A1s. He doesn't even need. All they need to do is take a turn, right? Really fun. Really fun to make these freeze teams. I love a good Tormund freeze burn team. Look at him go. Look at him go. And then the kill shot from Wurlim. Fun little champion. He's not going to be like an S-tier arena champion or anything like that, but he's you can have some fun with this dude, right? You certainly could use him in dungeon progression, Wurlim. In Faction Wars 2.0, absolutely. Let me go ahead and show you the other build. I will swap the gear around. Let's go ahead and equip it. Burn 1,000,000 silver, no big deal. I have defense on the gauntlets. It's not bad. I prefer HP if I'm going to go all-out Guardian. I do have HP percentage with Defense Ascension on the chest there. Total stats are going to be 69K, almost 6K on the defense as well. And again, I would make those changes, but I'm not going to spend my gems. I would go down and pick up, Bulwark and Selfless Defender. We already talked about that. Probably just pick up a Cycle of Revenge instead of Deterrence there as well. Let's go ahead and go in, though. Let's go in. Let me make a quick Ice Golem 25 team. I'll stick with you guys and do it. I was going to, you know what? I was going to say no legendaries, just Wurlim, and I already have a team kind of built here, kind of, sort of. I don't think I have gear, though, on Rector. Do I? I'm just missing one piece. Who cares, right? Now, well, it's an important piece, though. It's an important piece. I did a recent video on Rector Draft, by the way, here on the highlighting why this build, in my opinion, is the absolute best on her. Who else was on the team? Was it Staggy? Was Staggy on the squad? Yeah, he's good. I have Bolster set on Stag Knight. I mean, he has the HP for it, right? Who else was? Oh, it was Skrank. Skrank was on the squad. He has gear on. Fantastic. Okay. Who else do we want to round out this team here? To see him in the Guardian set. We could use another DPS, couldn't we? Let's go ahead and pick one of my faves, right? Who was that champion that, I promised I wouldn't keep using him, but I can't get away. I can't quit you, man. Where are you, Sir Artie? Artemage. Sir Artemage. Boom. Do I have gear on him still? That's the big question. I sure do. Not good gear, it looks like, but Some gear. All right. So this is Wurlim in the Guardian set. First of all, out the gate, opening up with that A3. Man, I think he's a really good, honestly, I think Wurlim's a really good progression champion now, you know? And that's not a slight saying progression, you know? He could be clutch. He could be on my main Faction Wars 2.0 team. It just depends, right? And he brings, if it's going to be trial-based, Faction Wars 2.0, think about it. He brings the perfect veil. He brings the decrease attack, decrease accuracy, strengthen, freeze. He has a lot of buffs / debuffs in his kit. The increased crit damage. He's also very good on Bommel, right? I know I'm going to get comments about, he didn't even mention how good he is against Bommel with the irresistible decreased accuracy. He just didn't watch long enough. I don't have a Bommel rotation right now, but the irresistible decreased accuracy, very, very good against Bommel as well. You know, just a pivotal champion in a lot of ways on Bommel teams if you're struggling with that champion. Although I would prefer just to cheese it with Lady Annabelle personally. If you're unfamiliar with that strategy, you can just search the channel for Lady Annabelle Bommel solo and she'll come up. But you can see, look at the superior control this dude has, right? I mean, he just goes in and just freezes everybody. He's able to get back to that A3 pretty quickly too, being a 3-turn cooldown. It's only 60%, but it's still a lot of damage. Yeah, or excuse me, it's still more than half, excuse me. And a lot of damage from this dude. I wonder how much damage he'll deal. It's still significant, even without crit rate or any crit damage, right, on him. All right, let's see what we can do here against the Ice Golem. The reason I'm showing you Ice Golem is because this dude, newsflash, he hits very hard. And Wurlim can showcase everything that he brings to the table. From the Perfect Veil, kind of synergizes with Rector Drath in that way. Mitigating AoE damage. The decreased attack is so huge. The decreased accuracy is so good against the minions of the Ice Golem. The Guardian set is really going to do a great job mitigating damage to all my squishy champions alongside of him. Just really, really strong champion to keep your team alive. That's what he's all about. He's all about survivability, aiding in survivability, and buffing up a little bit along the way. The increased crit damage is a nice little add-on. He's a good little champion now. I love this buff. I love that they touched up Wurlim Frostking. As I said earlier, I'm a little bit greedy. I would have loved to see them go maybe a little bit further in this buff, but man, I'm greedy. I'm just always want more, you know? I'm just like your typical gamer, right? But I think they did a good job with him. I think they did a good job. He's a very interesting champion. He is a Void Lego. He ought to be very good, but a lot of ally. This really, the Guardian set, what it really does is it adds an element of ally protect to a kit that's built all around survivability, right? So again, just to recap, lethal or savage if you want some damage. Protection, if you want to protect all the buffs that he brings to the table, is a nice option. And Guardian, if you want an all-out tank mode. Those are my 3 favorite builds for this champion. And again, that big wind up the swing, and really kind of a miss, right? Not a lot of damage coming from the Ice Golem here. At least it seems that way when Wurlim, excuse me, Frostking is on the team. You can see the stats there. Still decent damage for a champion that's not built for any damage at all. Guys, we're going to cap the video there. Let me know what you think of the new and improved Wurlim Frostking. Thanks for watching till the end of the video. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.